Good morning, grade 4. Today we have to do unit number 3, lesson number 1. So you're required to open your Oxford Progressive English book 4, page number 14. Now children, what is the title of the unit? The Jungle Book. What is the title of unit 3? The Jungle Book. Now children, I will read a dialogue between two characters, Sajid and Imran. Now, while reading, you have to read it very carefully because you have to answer question given at the top. What is the question? What do Imran and Sajid agree, disagree about? Now, what is the question? What do Imran and Sajid agree, disagree about? Now, while reading, we have to search for the information or a thing that is liked by both Imran and Sajid. We have to search for the thing which is liked by both the characters, Imran and Sajid. This means they both agree about that particular thing. And we have to search about the thing which might be liked by Sajid and disliked by Imran. So that will show their disagreement about that particular thing. Is it clear, children? Let's start reading. Sajid, what are you reading? Imran, I'm reading The Jungle Book. Now children, you must have seen the title of the book is written in inverted commas. Whenever we write any title or name of any book, we write it in inverted commas. Or we write any of the quotation, we write in inverted commas. Now, this is the contraction of I am. This I'm is contraction of I am. I'm reading The Jungle Book. It's a story about a young boy who grows up in the jungle. Now, what is Imran saying? It's a story about a young boy who grows up in the jungle. Now, it's a contraction for it is. Short contraction or short form of it is. Is it clear, children? Sajid, with his parents? Imran, no, he doesn't have any parents. He grows up with the jungle animals. Sajid, what animals are in the book? Imran, there's a tiger, a group of monkeys, a bird, a panther, a snake. Sajid, ooh, I hate snakes. Imran, really? I don't. I think snakes are beautiful. Now, children, here Sajid is saying he hates snakes. And what is Imran saying? Snakes are beautiful. Now, what is this? This is the information they both disagree about. They disagree about snakes. Snakes are liked by Imran, but they are disliked by Sajid. Now, Sajid, I like animal stories. Imran, so do I. The plot of the book is quite exciting. Sajid, what happens? Imran, Mowgli, the main character, escapes from the monkey people. Then, in the end, he escapes from the village people. Now, children, you have read the dialogue and I'm sure now you know the answer of the question given at the top. Now, if you remember, both Imran and Sajid, they like animal stories, but Sajid hates snakes and Imran thinks that snakes are beautiful. So the answer of question number 1 is the information they disagreed about, the thing they disagreed about is snake. Sajid hates snakes, but Imran thinks that snakes are beautiful. And what are the things they both liked? They both liked animal stories. Is it clear, children? Let's move on to question number 2. Match the words to their meanings. Now, what is the first word? Title. What is the title? What is the meaning of this word title? The name of the story. What is the meaning of the word title? The name of the story. Now, what is the title of unit number 3? The Jungle Book. What is the title of unit number 3? If you remember, I mentioned in the beginning of the unit. What is the title? The Jungle Book. Number 2, plot. Now, what is the meaning of plot? The events in a story. What is the meaning of plot? The events in a story. Now, the story begins with the setting and different characters, they emerge in the story. Then a problem arises, and finally a solution of the problem arises. And what happens in the end? All the characters, they live happily. So this is the plot of the story. Now, number 3, characters. Now, what are the characters of the story? Do you think characters are writer of the story? No, not at all. Now, what are the characters? The place where the story happens? No, again, it is not so. So, what are the characters? Characters are the people in the story. What are the characters? The people in the story. Now, number 4, setting. What is the setting of the story? Come on, any idea? Yes, the place where the story happens. Now, what do you think? I will repeat the title of the story, and you have to think about setting of this particular story. The Jungle Book. Now, children, do you think setting of the story is in the hospital, or in the city, or in the jungle? What do you think is the setting of the story, The Jungle Book? Hospital, city, or a jungle? Excellent. The Jungle Book must be set in a jungle. Is it clear? So what is setting? The place where the story happens. Now, last, author, writer of the story. Who is the author? The writer of the story. Now let's quickly revise all the words along with their meanings. Title, the name of the story. Number 2, plot, the events in a story. Plot, the events in a story. Number 3, characters, the people in the story. Number 3, characters, the people in the story. Number 4, setting, the place where the story happens. Number 4, the place where the story happens. Number 5, author, the writer of the story. Number 5, author, the writer of the story. Now, children, I have given the answer key. You may check your answers. Come on, check your answers. Title, the name of the story. Plot, the events in a story. Characters, the people in the story. Setting, the place where the story happens. Author, the writer of the story. I'm sure all of you must have attempted this question correctly. Is it so? Excellent. Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 4. Children, question number 4 is a listening exercise. Now, before I will read the information and you will attempt this question, I will read all the instructions that it will become very easy for you to attempt this question. Question number 4. Step 1. Listen to your teacher talk about the Jungle Book. What is the step 1? You have to listen to your teacher talk about the Jungle Book. Now, children, with the title helps you a lot. Now, you know we are going to read something related to the Jungle Book. Step 2. Underline the correct information. Now, what you have to do after listening? You have to underline the correct information in all the questions given below. Now, some lines have more than one correct answer. Some lines have more than one correct answer. Is it clear, children? Step 1, you have to listen to your teacher talk about the Jungle Book. Then what you have to do? You have to underline the correct information. And while underlining, you have to make sure that some lines, they might have more than one correct answer. Is it clear, children? Good. Now, number 1. Number 1 has already been done for you. Date of book, 1894 or 1924. What is the correct answer? 1894. Now you have underlined. See, the correct answer has already been underlined. This is how you have to do. Number 2. Before I will read number 2, children, this is a tip for attempting a listening exercise. You always read all the questions prior. You always read all the questions prior. And you read very carefully, because that will enable you to quickly grasp the information which is required. Is it clear? When you read all the questions prior, then it will become very easy for you to look for answers. Now, number 2, you have to search for name of author. It might be Rudyard Kipling or Rumpole Kitchener. Then number 3, lived from 1865 till 1936 or 1859 till 1926. Number 4, the author's job. What is number 4? The author's job. He can be a poet, writer, newspaper reporter. Okay. Number 5, the author lived in Asia, Africa, Australia. The author lived in Asia, Africa, Australia. Number 6, the author spoke. This means language spoken by the author. Urdu, English. Now children, are you all ready? Now, I will start reading the information. Now hold your pencils in your hands and listen to the information carefully and underline the correct information. I'm going to read now. The Jungle Book was written by a man called Rudyard Kipling. He wrote the book in the year 1894 when he was living in Asia. Rudyard was English, but he spoke many languages. He spoke Urdu very well. In his book, he uses Urdu words for the names of the animals. So he calls the bear Balu and he calls the big cat Bagheera. Rudyard had many different jobs. He was a newspaper reporter. Later, he wrote many books and short stories for children. He also wrote lots of poems. He was born in 1865 and died in 1936. Now children, I'm sure all of you must have underlined the correct information. But to facilitate you further, I will read the information again. So if you have missed any of the question, you can do it now. Now listen again. The Jungle Book was written by a man called Rudyard Kipling. He wrote the book in the year 1894 when he was living in Asia. Rudyard was English, but he spoke many languages. He spoke Urdu very well. In his book, he uses Urdu words for the names of the animals. So he calls the bear Balu and he calls the big cat Bagheera. Rudyard had many different jobs. He was a newspaper reporter. Later, he wrote many books and short stories for children. He also wrote lots of poems. He was born in 1865 and died in 1936. Now children, you may check your answers with the answer key given.